got a tight foreskin, pussy so tight I'ma force it. I hope that shit don't break.
Are we on?
I think we're going, yeah. This is episode, what are we on, 14? Of the Rapcast? Yep.
The big 1-4. We just hit it.
I'm Andrew, a.k.a. Young Jizz, a.k.a. Bluebeard. To my right is...
The man, the boy.
The child.
The kid.
And to
Alex.
my left is JPAC, a.k.a. PJ Martian, a.k.a. What's your real name again? Josh. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, everyone forgets you because you're so terrible.
Another a.k.a. of mine, the most hated rapper in the game.
Yeah. The most milquetoast ass motherfucker.
The most lactose-free motherfucker ever seen. There was a thing I wanted to... I think a good slow tie bar... Even though we trashed slow tie on the last episode, because we were saying here how we stole our rollout. A good slow tie bar.
He's never coming to these ends.
No.
Without getting scuffled up.
Yeah. He has to mention Pepe Le Pew in his like British accent.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew and Le Fou. Like that would be.
Yeah, but I think Pepe Le Pew is over for being a rapist.
That's why he should mention it, because he's canceled just like Pepe Le Pew.
Oh. Yeah. And you could
slow. Call him slow. Short.
Pepe Le Pew NFT idea.
Okay.
I'm saying
it's gonna be gone soon.
We can't offer financial advice here, but I'm saying invest. No. Go. Hold the line.
Yeah. When we eventually put these Rapcasts out as NFTs, we'll only keep them up for a day.
Yeah.
And see what the highest bidder is every time.
Seriously though, I want to dispense with that whole topic right off the bat. Fuck this whole NFT thing. It's gambling. It's fake. It's just turning everything into a fucking financial tool for a bunch of fucking assholes. I don't like it.
It's I actually did a fucking presentation on it for school the other day.
School?
Yeah,
they still have those?
Yeah. Fucking Zoom University. And I just had to research it and just talk about it. And yeah, it is very like kind of anti-art in the way of it being like, oh, everything is art, but everything's not art because people are putting up pictures of their ball sacks and pieces of shit, and people are like buying them and bidding on them, kind of in a way proving that none of this shit is really art, like it's not really even real. So I can't appreciate it for that aspect, but like, yeah, I don't know. I consider putting some of my photos on there just to see if I fucking make any money, because at least people are making money off their art. Like that's another that's a positive thing, even if some of it isn't art at all.
For now.
Yeah.
Until the hype dies down.
I just don't get it. I don't get how it works at all. I barely understood the whole GameStop thing or how that works, and how there's now meme stocks that people get into as a bit.
Yeah. The whole stock world is just a whole fucking mess, man.
I remember tweeting this when the whole GameStop thing happened, but it's I have no idea what's going on, but fucking eat the rich. And whatever's causing grief for rich people.
That was far.
But the whole thing quickly turns into it's somehow secretly a ploy of all the rich people to somehow they got to be. I mean, the whole art world is them just laundering all their money.
It's all just trading money around and trading artwork around, even though you can still take a screenshot or
it's just putting value into something completely arbitrary.
It's pretty much for bragging rights. There's a lot of shit on NFTs that are trading cards and shit, or specific trading cards.
Yeah, I understand that
way.
I get how a rare Pokemon card could have a crazy value like that. That kind of makes sense to me.
They're trading them like they're cards because people are thinking that one day some of these files will be gone forever. And some of them will be websites will be lost, shit will shut down, and some shit will be lost forever. So then they'll have it; it'll appreciate in value over time.
It's just Y2K over again,
and that's a part of it. But other people, it is just for gambling and just trying to fucking make a quick buck. Okay. It's not all that serious. I would never buy shit myself, but I would maybe try to sell just some old photos of mine just to see if it makes any money. I don't think there's harm in that.
Yeah, well, all this money talk, it gets away from beauty, art, the things that matter in this planet.
Welcome to the Rapcast, everybody.
Welcome to the Rapcast. Welcome to the Maccast, because today we're talking about the late, the great
Malcolm?
Cheesy Mac.
Easy Mac with
Easy
the
Mac
cheesy
with
raps.
The cheesy raps.
We wanted to do this one for a while because It was fun doing that Big Sean one where we kind of went through his career trajectory.
It just got real nerdy and really
get
deep
really
into it.
in deep with every song and shit like that. And since we're not going to have a new Mac album, we might as well do this. And also, in the our top 10 of the year, we had a short thing of talking about circles, but we had to squeeze so much.
That was like
shit
a 2-hour
into that
episode.
That episode was.
Yeah, this one's fully dedicated to Mac. That's for sure. We're both like huge fans of his. We have been for years and years and years now. Yeah. So it makes sense that we would do this at some point. We figured, kind of slow news week. So
and honestly, but I feel like the evolution of his career is legitimately fascinating to go into.
One of the best actual trajectories of any rapper ever. I think him and Tyler are up there for me for new age kind of trajectories.
Yeah, we'll have a Tyler episode when he puts a new album out too.
We'll periodically have these episodes just pretty much dedicated to one artist and talking about their discography, and then other ones we'll do more bullshit, more news and stuff. But we'll get to the new songs and new shit at the end because there are some shit that we want to talk about.
Yeah, Drake.
Okay.
Drake!
I can't wait until Bruno Mars outsells Drake on the new fucking album, dude. That's my hot take.
Where do you want to start with Mac? Because it's interesting how you really see he goes from local rapper to somewhat popping young guy to then he finally signs to a major in 2013-14 era or whatever, and then continues to progress past that. But there's this whole early period of early Mac Miller where it's
there's so many different phases in his career that we can talk to. I mean, it makes sense that we'll start towards the beginning.
How far back do you go as far as Mac Miller goes?
The first album that he released when I was a fan of his was Faces, even though I didn't listen to that till later on, because I got into him in 2014. It was I think I got into him and Big Sean and a few other people at the same time. I think my first album I heard was Watching Movies with the Sound Off, which for a long time was my favorite Mac Miller album. And then I went back, or did I go back? No, I didn't go back. I went forward. Then I listened to Faces, I think. And then I went back a little bit. And then, yeah.
Because for me, I go back to, the LimeWire era of... where... And this was, because I was subscribed to the Mac Miller channel, Tree J TV.
Yeah.
On YouTube, since way back in the day.
Yeah.
It was the song Frick Park Market was the one that kind of put him to that next level, I think. Which was a pretty good song.
Yeah.
But that's kind of in his early era of him just coming out of this more old school style.
Frat rap, as some might say.
Because then we kind of went I kind of got into Mac at the same time around 2013.
I think you got into
listening to his full albums, but
you recommended him to me, so I'm okay.
But I was watching some of his videos, and I was kind of mid on a lot of his music.
Yeah, at first, because at the first I heard of him was in grade 8 for me, so that must have been 2012 or 2013, when he was I heard
the song Loud.
Maybe that one. It was one where he had he was wearing. The only thing I remembered about it was because it was a white rapper and he was wearing his button-up shirt, but only the top button he was wearing, almost like a cape. And I'm that's a weird style. So I remembered that specifically about it, but I don't remember what song exactly. But
I was watching some of Mac Miller's early videos, and it is crazy, just the young him, no tattoos all over his arms and shit, and he just looks so innocent and young in those old school videos, but. Yeah, it kind of starts around 2010, 11-ish era is when he started to pop off.
Because with pretty much his first tape, I think he had a few mixtapes before that.
Kids is sort of considered
the first,
his...
Yeah.
That one, have you listened to that album?
Not all the way through yet. It was a thing, I didn't do it at all. And then when he passed away, I made a conscious effort to try to go back and listen to more of his earlier stuff, because I didn't as much. But I've listened to I think majority of the songs on there now, and there are 5 or 6 that I really do enjoy, and that for some reason, even though I have only heard them in the past maybe 3 years, are so nostalgic for me just because they have that sound to it. The whole Kids album was, and you see these people on the internet talking about this all the time about how it just reminds them of them back in high school or them back in their teenage years. It has a very youthful quality to it that just kind of forces nostalgia shit to come to my head just because of the way it sounds, which is really interesting to me.
Yeah, Knock Knock was one of the songs from Kids that I You know, let him in.
Yeah.
You know that song?
I know. I don't listen to it much. I don't think it's on my phone or anything, but I've heard of the song. Yeah.
That's one of the farthest back ones where I go with Mac.
I mean, it's pretty much at the start, so yeah, OG shit.
And then I remember like the song "Loud." I like my music real loud. I think that was on the Macadelic mixtape, which was 2012.
Yeah.
But that one I remember having more crossover appeal. Like other kids in my class actually knew that song and stuff like that, and like it was sort of a I mean his early music is kind of easygoing, fun time type shit. I found that like his more like slow, emotional, serious type songs I didn't like as much early on. Like his
right.
It's I think it's easier to master like being funny and witty and brag rapping. Like it's easier to master that.
For sure, because there's so many artists that are just trap artists that are just doing that.
It takes longer to develop that like ability to actually
some artistic shit, like actually being like really creative with it. Not saying that people doing the trap shit aren't creative, they are, but just tapping into a different level like musically, it's much harder to do. I agree with that.
Yeah, and it actually takes a while before I actually start liking the emotional, slow kind of Mac Miller songs.
Right. That's what drew me in originally with watching movies. Like, 'cause at that point I was only into like a few rappers like Gambino and Chance and like Schoolboy, Earl Sweatshirt, Vince. That was pretty much it before I got into Mac. But even then, like I fucked with the earlier that one. What was that one Schoolboy Q song off?
Color Greens.
No, Habits and Contradictions. It was like one of the more serious ones on there. Like I know how it goes, but
yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I was more interested in hip hop when I first got into it. The more like serious, slow shit, like the more like actual rap heavy, lyric bar heavy type of rap. So that kind of shit, his earlier shit didn't really cross into my path, or didn't really I don't really fuck with it at first. But then after a while, I got into it, of course.
Yeah, Donald Trump was one of the early songs.
That was one of the big ones that I remember. That
funny
one
thinking
in high
now.
School.
Then years later, he put out like a message saying like, "I don't fuck with Trump at all. Don't play that song anymore."
Yeah, and him and Trump got into the whole fucking feud on Twitter, or Donald Trump tweeted at Mac Miller 5 times. Some legendary shit.
But
there's
another early song, "Smile Back," that I remember really liking.
That was the first one that I liked of his old school shit, I think. Other than Macadelic shit.
I don't know if that's something about the beat of that song, or it just sounds like he's a lot more comfortable rapping on it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's hard to really put your thumb on what it is about his earlier stuff that's not as good, but he's just not as he's not as good of a rapper. We still... Yeah, those early shit is still good. Like the song, like Nike's on my feet, and like
there's some good classic boom bap shit. I mean, it is a little cheesier. It is a little simple in terms of some of his bars and stuff, and kind of low hanging fruit sometimes. But he still shows his skills even early on. Like he's still a very competent rapper, and is really good with the flows. He sounds
great over the boom bap kind of.
Yeah, no, it's a good style beats for him to have. I appreciate that we have it at all. That we got kind of a boom bap early shit from Mac. Just looking back.
But I remember getting into that next level of fandom was watching movies with the sound off. Mm-hmm. When they started promoting that one, I was watching the music videos and stuff and going okay, now he's reaching a different level now. Part of it, I think after 2011, 12-ish era, he went on a long tour and made $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's what really changed his music of okay, now his flexes are a lot more flexy,
a lot more legit. He can actually, prove his shit. He has the receipts for the shit he's doing, but also kind of fed into, because that was the point where he was getting pretty heavy into drugs too around Macadelic, and
so it feeds into his ego, and but
he has money to buy these drugs and to live that kind of life.
Yeah, and it's actually in a morbid kind of way. It is kind of funny. There's earlier songs where you can hear him rapping "Yo, I have a little weed and a drink, but I won't fuck with any of that other stuff," and then it's
never fuck with that, shit. Yay, and then we're oh well.
Oh, sorry, fuck.
Yeah.
But 2013. I think 2013 was a real peak in. I mean, it happened to be around the time where I was getting into rap albums, but I think it was a peak in the culture because
huge albums. Some of my favorite albums of all time are from 2013.
I think it's because of the impact of, I I think at that point, like,
the mixtape era was ending.
They were putting a lot of effort into concept albums.
Yeah.
That were long and had tons of features. And I think, Kanye's Dark Twisted Fantasy, I think, like, had an inspiration on a lot of people. And I think, like, Good Kid, Mad City came out in, like, 2011, 12 or era. I think, like, a lot of rappers were inspired to...
Yeah.
And there was a lot of, like, I guess just a lot of money in the game at the time. Like, they were throwing around, like, allowing people to...
Because streaming didn't quite get there yet, so it wasn't like some of these artists are being robbed as much as they are now in terms of, like, streaming numbers and all that shit. So it was still, but it was still like internet rap shit. So they could still make a bunch of money off iTunes and shit like that. You know.
I think it was like 2 years before Migos and like trap rap.
Yeah.
Kind of changed the trajectory.
That was like 2016, I think. That's when that kind of took place.
Yeah. So there was kind of a golden era where, you know, everyone from Chance, Mac Miller, Childish Gambino, Kanye, Big Sean, Schoolboy Q, ASAP, and them, they're all doing like and Earl and Tyler doing long albums that really try to create a whole concept and a whole story, and a lot of it was like about dealing with issues of like ego and like having all this crazy money and like your life changing so quickly and dealing with like the life of a rapper. Like the stuff people were writing a lot about that type of stuff, like. And you start to see a little bit, his music gets darker. Yeah. Watching the movies with the sound off is kind of a dark, like, dark album. Like, you know?
Because it's also strange to me because with the bonus tracks on that album, I think it was
one with
with Tyler, and then like one other one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But it ends off a pretty dark album in like a kind of like a fun, kind of goofy way. But at the very end, he's like, I'm still crying over my bitch. Like, it'll be okay is the last thing you hear on the album. So even with like a goofy kind of fun track like that, there's still hints like of that before.
Yeah, he says in that song, album filled with all sad songs. This is the one that I can laugh on.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a
I'm just gonna look at the track list very quick.
Yeah, kind of a fitting end to that album, even though it is a bonus track. But yeah, that album is still really, really, really good, really solid, like all the way through. If you got the track list there,
like
Objects in the Mirror, but especially the one that he did with the internet. There was like a live version of it, and that one's like it was off the Space Migration tour, I think. That was
one the first.
Like, that was
just singing Mac Miller song.
One of the first, yeah. I mean, there were some darker songs on Macadelic, like The Question and the one with Kendrick, Fight the Feeling. There were some darker ones on there, but not to the same, or like, and some like singing songy parts, but not to the same extent as watching movies. Yeah,
Macadelic, as you already start to see him evolve a little bit more. But watching movies was like a legit album. So I really love the song Avian.
Yep.
Those pianos. Like he literally says in the song SDS, like they wasn't hearing me till I fucked with a brain feeder. So he's talking about how he started to get like, that's Flying Lotus. So he started working with more producers that were doing really creative shit. And that's what kind of what got him more respect in the official, not just his own fan base, but like the wider world.
It's crazy around that time, the 2013, still pretty early on in his career, and he has so many notable features from so many artists. Like on his first mixtape, like I guess it was after his album because of Blue Slide Park was in there. But he had Kendrick and Lil Wayne on like his third mixtape or whatever, which is like a crazy feat. And he has Jay Electronica on this one when he was like is still in retirement, I'm pretty sure, off that one song. Suplexes inside of complexes, inside of duplexes.
Oh yeah, that's Jay Electronica on that song. It's such a funny name for a song too.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, this whole like latter half of the album, Remember Someone Like You, Aquarium, Euphoria, is all very like kind of spacey, sing-songy, like really just a completely new sound for Mac that he hasn't really touched on before.
And it's a big turning point. When I was listening to this, I didn't like tracks 13 to 16 really, like.
Right.
That's kind of where it ended, because I was more of a just pure hip hop fan.
I didn't fuck with I guess I didn't fuck with Someone Like You, Aquarium, and Euphoria as much as I do now. I still fuck with them, but not much. I learned to appreciate them more as I got more into rap.
But it was really much, some of his first attempts at like songwriting on a like about emotional topics and stuff like that. But a lot of the rest of the album is like jokes and flexes and references.
There's still some of that shit in there. Yeah.
Just randomness and like just I don't give a fuck attitude.
Because that was always prominent in Mac's music, even with some of the more serious albums like Swimming. There are still like some jokes and stuff like in there. Not as much as in like Circles. That's a pretty like just straight singer-songwriter type shit. But I mean, we'll get to it when we do. But 2013 was a fucking huge, probably Mac's biggest years, because I think that was the year he went on like the huge tour with the Internet and like a Chance the Rapper and like a bunch of other like Absol, and like he brought like a bunch of these people on this tour.
That was a real peak for...
And he released that Live from Space album, plus he did Delusional Thomas that year too, which is also a complete dark, like that's really like a whole like, I mean it's an alternate personality, but it's just like really shows you more of like the darker side of his mind, which is something that we hadn't gotten before at that point. But I didn't hear that album until like maybe 2014 or 15. I didn't hear it like right away. I just remember hearing it. I'm like, this is some of the darkest shit I've ever heard. Like, you know, we talk about fucking AIDS infested penises and fetus, like all this crazy, just like what the fuck shit, like some horror shit.
That's really what kept me coming back to Mac Miller, was like I appreciated his dark, funny like underside of like, and he really captures like the sort of like the bored, but just having fun, like smoking weed all day long kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. But also a rich and famous and
just like not giving a
bunch
fuck.
Of bitches everywhere, and like he lives both sides, and it's really interesting to see both of that shit in his work. Like, at the same
even
time,
the way he raps is sort of like he's doing the more sort of lazy delivery on his.
Yeah.
Because his younger music, he's trying more hard to give
really
some really hype
performances,
like, and then this one he's kind of just the whole thing like.
Man, he's drugged out a lot of the time too.
You know, fuck it, like. The song Bird Call, like chilling for an hour, smoking weed, watching World Star.
Yeah.
You know, you have to probably drive your girl's car.
Yeah.
Like, just like making fun of people, and just like the Action Bronson song is sick on this one.
Oh yeah, that one was one of my favorites off rip.
G's with Schoolboy Q is probably the funniest Mac Miller song.
It's up there
of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, Suck My Dick Before I Slap You With It.
Yeah.
It's like that's just
crazy
funny.
Shit.
That's just great. And watching movies is when you get there's a legitimate like horror movie-esque beat kind of, and he's getting at the more dark side of all this like lifestyle of drugs and women and stuff like that.
Yeah, Object in the Mirror, I Am Who I Am, Killing Time is a great one too. Matches with Absol, great. Or Bird Call.
Sweatshirt,
I'm Not Real with Earl Sweatshirt. That one was also one of my favorites right away. Because I think it helped that I was into Earl, and they had that song Horse off Doris. This song is kind of similar in a way how they both pitch their voices down.
Earl and Mac fit together perfectly. Like when they're both on their depressed boy shit.
Oh man, yeah.
Like,
I wish we could have got more collabs. I mean, we already have a bunch of collabs, but I wish we could have got more for sure.
That's one of those dream ones that we missed out on. If they did a collab tape, that would have been sick.
And we'll talk about the one collab tape he did have later, but let's see.
All right, let's move on to the next project. Faces.
Yeah, this one's big.
Okay, Faces is my favorite Mac Miller project.
Yeah, I know that about you. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just
came out in 2014.
Yeah,
and this one you get even like he goes further into the drugged out lifestyle.
Yeah,
I think like losing track with reality.
Yeah, I think one tweet that he said that I still remember to this day about that album was like. He said, I was not on planet Earth when I was making Faces. Not even close. Like, he was not fucking here. Like, he wasn't present. Like, he was on a fucking different fucking
and you
plane
hear that.
than us, bro. Yeah.
You hear that in the album.
It's super evident.
Musically, like, I still think it's dope. Like, I love the song Here We Go and Inside Outside. Like,
yeah.
Angel Dust is a fucking smash.
Mm-hmm.
But
there are still some, like, fun, more, like, you know, kind of...
It's a legitimately...
Not as serious songs, but even in those serious
album.
songs...
It is sad.
It's like fucking wedding and funeral and...
But on those songs, like,
Grand Finale...
He has legitimately great poetry.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just...
He paints the pictures fucking super well.
It's like, for me, with the reason I love Faces so much, is it's like one of those movies where, like, the fact that the plot doesn't make that much sense is the point, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like... the fact that this album there's mixtape is way too long.
Yeah.
And goes and has
there's some skits in there.
A million skits and half ideas.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the together. Point of it to me.
Yeah.
Because it puts you in a very specific vibe.
I definitely appreciate the album much more than I did. I remember when I got into it, I was still a big fan of it, but there were some songs that I just like didn't have on my phone, and I didn't keep.
Like Colors and Shapes, or
no, that one was great.
55.
55 I didn't keep. What do you do? I didn't keep. It just doesn't matter. I didn't have for a while either. Uber I didn't have for a while.
It Just Doesn't Matter starts with a very long Bill Murray thing from SNL.
So I didn't really... I was back when I was still kind of getting into rap, I didn't really appreciate it. I was like, this is kind of weird. I don't really like the skit at the beginning,
But yeah, I love the album. Like, it gives you this feeling of like he's trying to write his way out of this fucking lifestyle that he's living, or like he knows that it's bad and that like
Yeah. At this point, I think he mentioned how at the end of every single album with the final song, he was like, I made this the final song in case I die after this album, because I might. He was always like, so like, this is my last album. Like, Faces was his last album.
Faces is so much about
Good
his
AM
death.
was last album. Like, fucking Swimming was last album. Like, it's
yeah, that's interesting.
He was so he was like, because especially throughout most of his projects, I guess starting with Macadelic, like there's so many references to overdosing and how the drugs are going to take him out. Like, he's very prolific in that way.
He even references like conspiracies and stuff. Like, talks about JFK a lot, and like if they ever kill me, like types of jokes about that. Like in the song America with Casey Veggies, he has like a whole there's a JFK like thing thrown in there. There's certain like themes that he kind of builds on through like across different albums and stuff like that. Over
his whole career, he doesn't really stop doing with that shit, and it really it's telling him. But
one example from the song Uber, he says, "Somebody told me I deserve to die. I looked him in the eyes, said the devil's not circumcised."
Yeah, that bar is crazy.
Which is, you can tell, like, he maybe thought that had some meaning, but if that doesn't mean anything. That's a complete nonsense. But that's kind of the point. But like, he it's the self-awareness of like a drug addict, and like how bored and complacent they are with their lifestyle, and they know it's bad.
Yeah, but they're addicted, so they can't.
It's an addiction, and he really like it does not shy away from going through all the ugliness of the lifestyle, and like the song where he talks about like waking up and like he doesn't even know what day it is, but there's like a parade going on outside, so it's like, okay, I think it's Friday. Oh, that's in the song Diablo, I think. There's a parade outside of City Hall. They celebrate, they're having a ball.
Yeah, right. Diablo, which is one of his best just rapping songs. And it's all on an album that's so like depressing, but it's still like it still makes sense.
That's a classic to any Mac fan.
That one's crazy. I remember when he did that live. That was nuts.
But I can understand why it's not as highly rated critically as.
Yeah, but if you're a Mac fan, it's got to be probably in your top like 5 Mac or like top 10 Mac tracks. Like every Mac fan likes that track, or most. I don't know. I can't speak for all of us.
The mixtape is like a podcast. It's long, drawn out.
Filled
with jokes and references that don't even make sense.
Two people that don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time. All drugged out and spaced out, don't even know where the fuck we are.
There's 24 tracks. No, I don't do drugs.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I'm clean.
The next project...
Well, we can go over a few other favorite songs on here.
Oh, yeah. New Faces, the other Earl Sweatshirt one.
New Faces, Grand Finale, that one is also one of his more depressing ones.
It's funny that,
Rain with Vince Staples is crazy.
He was so... He was so hard to, like, work with at the time that, like, they didn't end up promoting the song Insomniac with Rick Ross. Like, they thought that maybe could have been a hit.
Yeah,
and that's the one where he's... That's the most party type song.
Yeah, that one's a hit. But it's still depressing because like he can't sleep. I don't need a mattress. I'm an insomniac. Like, it's still kind of depressing. Oh, he can't sleep.
It's still sad. But then Rick Ross comes in with a sick verse where he's just like...
Rain with Vince Staples, Insomniac, Colors and Shapes, San Francisco. I always thought was a really
song.
Dark. But it's still like dark. It has like the beat is like so like... I don't know, like minimalistic almost. It's so like just... like it's to me, it's like a very moody like...
Yeah, it's
I
got
would
a
hear it at a
theremin.
strip
There's
club.
got a theremin in the.
Yeah, I would
in
hear
the
it.
song.
I wouldn't hear it at an actual strip club, but I would want to. I'm like, this is like a dirty fucking
Like a weirdo, like yeah.
Fillmore's in fucking Toronto there when I eventually go.
Yeah, Faces is sick, but I understand why. There's probably part of his like. Imagine being like an old school Mac Miller fan and like hating this because it's like
there's
you feel like he's lost everything, all his innocence.
That's the kind of thing. Mac Miller fans, there's a little bit of a divide along because he's changed his sound so much, and he's progressed so much as an artist. Like there's some fans that are divided. Like some of them will only be into Kids, Best Day Ever, and fucking Blue Side Park, and maybe Macadelic, and maybe some songs off of Watching Movies. And there's some fans that'll only fuck with Macadelic, Watching Movies, Good AM. And there's some fans that'll only fuck with Divine Feminine, and some fans that'll only fuck with Swimming in Circles, and But there's some fans like us that kind of fuck with all of it. So. Yeah,
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
The next one, Good AM.
Yeah.
2015.
At this point, he's on a yearly, but he's doing this yearly. Like he's
honestly, yeah, it's
he's
crazy.
Keeping up.
I mean, he's the hardest working person in the universe.
Yeah.
And Good AM.
This one's special to me.
His next studio album.
Yeah.
So he's getting his shit together more. So it's not just a mixtape.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was kind of on a path towards sobriety a
little bit. There was a hint of him getting better, but also we have tracks like fucking the one that's so uber sad, Godspeed, Perfect Circle, Godspeed. And you also even have a brand name of him, I'm trying to join the 27 Club or whatever.
Kind of, yeah. A Good AM is a lot like,
like
waking up to a new day and like,
trying to
I can
actively
take my
be
life
better,
in a different direction,
but still being plagued with these fucking dark thoughts and depressive shit. Like,
yeah,
because Grand Finale was also.
I don't like it. I don't like it as much as I'm more of a Watching Movies dark Mac Miller fan. Good AM is still a sick album though overall.
I've thought a lot about this, and as I started, my favorite Mac album was Watching Movies at one point, because that was the first one I heard. But I think at this point, I would rate Good AM over Watching Movies to me. Just slightly, though. I have a lot of fun memories with that. That was senior year of high school. I remember taking my mom's fucking Discman and I bought the CD, and I fucking brought it to school like every day, even though I had it on my fucking iPod or on my phone or whatever. I had the songs, but I would just want to I would want to listen to it on the CD for whatever reason. I was so inclined to do that. And then, like, I remember during my fucking spares, I would go out, like, just to the fucking lake where it was all foggy and shit, just listen to this album, and it was really, really a fucking trip. Like,
it is. You do see how he's improved a lot as a singer and a musician on Good AM. Like,
yeah,
he's moved on. He's moved farther.
It's more fine-tuned than some of his other stuff was in the past.
Brand Name's a good song to start off.
Doors is a great intro as well by Tyler. Produced that one. Brand Name, Rush Hour, 2 matches. Isn't as good as the first matches with Absol. 100 Grand Kids.
I like how it's a sequel to the song off of.
Not enough rappers do like sequels to songs, I feel. I guess some of them still do.
That's another one that deserves respect, the song with him and Absol, because it's a real song that's about a topic that's specifically relatable about like feeling like you're growing up too fast, or like that you've the idea of you're not even you can't get into a movie based on your own life. Like, it's kind of a funny idea. Like,
yeah, and even on matches two matches, wasn't it like how that should start? I forget. Well, it's just a kid one day, so it's still about like kind of growing up in that same way.
Yeah. My whole MO was to get this MO.
And you why?
Yeah, it's good.
Him and Absol were also a great duo. But he worked with like so many fucking great people in the industry that, he could have had a fucking collab album with anyone and it would have been sick. Weekend was one of his biggest hits, I think, like overall, I feel.
The Weekend, yeah.
With Miguel.
I don't actually like that song that much.
Really? I love that song, man. I guess
it's a little too soft for me. I don't know.
It is.
I don't like Miguel that much, I think.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Miguel's pretty good.
Maybe it's a bit of a spicy take for me to take, but
maybe not hot take, a little spicy take there.
It's just, I don't know.
It is a little poppy for him, like same with that one song.
That's a song for chicks, not for me.
Okay, man. You fucking Divine Feminine we'll get into after, come on.
Because I love that album too.
Yeah, The Weeknd is a little bit like poppier, but it's still, again, it reminds me of good times, in the weekend getting hyped and, going
it's relatable.
Really, it's still even, I think Mac is a very relatable rapper overall, but even like pop songs like that, and even in that song he has some depressing fucking bars too.
Yeah, it's just my snob shit coming out, like I can't go with the poppy song that everyone likes. Fuck that.
Well, the even poppier song on that is Jump, which is like almost has like an EDM type beat, and I love that song too.
Now see, this album, it kind of ends with me around like When in Rome. Actually, no, Cut the Check.
Ascension's great too.
I don't like the last 3 songs.
Dude, you don't like Ascension?
Not really.
Oh man, that's one of my favorite fucking Mac songs. What's between?
Yeah, no, it's a great album just to put on. The whole experience of it.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest. I agree with you. I'm not the biggest fan of the festival, and I'm not as big of a fan of Jump as I once was.
Yeah,
but I think the overall album is still.
The same way.
Yeah, Cut the Check with Chief Keef. I think that's the best Chief Keef verse I've ever heard. And all it took was, who knew a white boy would get Chief Keef's best verse out of him.
100 Grandkids is my favorite Mac Miller song from this album.
That's fair. That's a great song.
And probably would crack my top 5.
Yeah.
It's so great.
It'll probably be in my top 10, top 5.
It's so, like, the way the song switches halfway through where he's like,
yeah,
okay, I'm about to give you some real heat verses.
That was, I remember when that video came out, the
video's sick.
Okay, like, this is some rap shit by Mac.
Like, the first half of it, he's at, like a kid's talent show or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like...
He's like the son
Then the beat starts to switch up halfway through. You see him, like, walking outside, like...
Yeah, no, it's just in a fucking parking
lot.
Then
there's this big truck, like, boom, boom, and he's, like...
Hydraulics
doing all the, like... It's like, you're just watching it going, like, yes, dude, like...
Yeah.
Got me so excited for the album.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, great video. I mean, he has some other, like, fantastic videos as well that I don't know if we'll have time to talk about necessarily, but...
Yeah.
Time Flies, great. Clubhouse in the Bag, Break the Law. When in Rome is probably his best, like, banger to me. His best, like, just like complete, like.
That's one that was great. I mean, we saw the Good AM tour.
Yeah, and that was the last song
he did. One live
and that was
sick.
Like insane. Yeah. Like he brought out everyone. He brought out Earth Gang and all that shit, and it was definitely a vibe.
Yeah.
So I love it for that.
Even though we got our fucking joints taken away from us when we tried to get in there. Well, I was with my friends. You were with yours, but we were both at the same show.
Yeah. I thought you guys had joints there. You got taken away.
Yeah, we rolled like 3 or 4 and then tried to stick him in the cigarette pack thing.
Nah, you can't. That's old shit, man. You can't do that. Yeah. That was also the one where Adam
we still got high.
Hold on to all my weed, and then he was so nervous he just dumped it all on the ground. And I'm like, that was like 2 or 3 grams, bro.
Damn.
And so the person in front of me was smoking. So in the show, I just asked like, yo, can I take a drag?
Yeah.
Got a little high, but
that was a great era for Mac Miller.
That's the show got me into Earth Gang, so I can say I'm a hipster on Earth Gang because that was like 2013.
You should get some cred for
2015.
Because Earth Gang kind of blew up.
Yeah, Dreamville shit. Ross or Rain or Shine, another great track. Cut the Check, Ascension. Yeah. It's if it might not be ahead of watching movies, but they're tied to me. Like they have to be. Like to me, they're so close in terms of they're both so good.
I would say that by the time you get to Good AM, like, songs like Perfect Circle / Godspeed, where there's a, like, piano and, like, singing all kinds of musical elements, and him really putting together, like, a song. There's, like, even, like, a voicemail of, like, his like, buddy from back home who's like, hey, man, like...
I think it was his brher.
Oh, yeah, it's his brother. Yeah. So it's, like...
And that
really incorporating and putting together this, like, he leveled up as far as making that type of music.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I think Good AM is overall a good step forward in his career.
It's not my favorite, but it's still up there.
And it still is integral to Mac's trajectory in his progression.
Yeah.
And I will say about Godspeed, that verse is probably his most, like, self-aware, now very poignant and just sad verses.
Yeah, because he talks about the whole,
Yeah, saying I mean,
wanting
rehab,
to change,
won't be long until they watching me crash. They don't want to see that. They don't want me to OD and have to talk to my mother saying she could have done more to help me. And she'll just be crying saying she'll do anything to have me back.
Yeah, I mean,
God damn,
crazy.
bro. That's like exactly what fucking happened, dude. It won't be long until they watch me crash, and that was the year he crashed his fucking G-Wagon.
Yeah.
When he broke up with fucking Ariana after that, 2018.
He's a legitimately great, like, poet.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know. One of the best lyricists. One of my favorite lyricists, for sure. At this point, we're at Divine Feminine. Which, we had a little bit of history with this one.
So something happened where I think it was on the set of the video for The song The Way by Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Where I think that's where the spark started to fly between
with him
Ariana.
And Ari. Yeah. I mean, she claims that only the song Cinderella was made for her, and the rest were about his previous girlfriend or whatever.
That's funny.
But I think it was still, this album was when they were dating, and it was like a dedication to her, I think, overall. I think, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but no one knows for sure. This is when
Mac Miller really went in the direction of instrumentation, like, with real instruments, and R&B, basically.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, pretty much. I mean, there's still some
like
bar
singing.
Heavy, there's still some, bar heavy tracks.
They're still rapping on it, but, like, Dang being the lead single for it was like very much like this is the new vibe of what Mac Miller's going to be about.
Dang is top 5 Mac songs for me, I think.
It's up there, yeah. I mean, Anderson Paak knows how to...
Another shit that we got, because I don't know if we even got more than like 2 collabs between Mac and Anderson Paak, but I know they were like great friends. But that's another duo that I would have loved to work more.
What's the other Anderson Paak collab?
I'm trying to think.
From Swimming, probably, I think.
I know Thundercat was on that one, but yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. Let us know in the comments if you can remember.
We'll probably say it in the next 15 minutes when we figure it out. But
yeah, I was a little. I can't speak for both of us, but when I first heard this one, I was a little underwhelmed, or just like, this is my favorite one. Still a good album, but I didn't really fuck with it as much at the very beginning when it just came out.
It's only 10 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt a little bit like. Okay, maybe take a step back from my... Yeah, I remember we were talking to some people at a Chance the Rapper concert about it. And the girl was like, all really into the Divine Feminine, but I looked over at the dude and be like, come on, you don't really... This isn't for the fellas, man. But, yeah, as I get more into R&B, like, I appreciate this. And how he steps into the genre pretty well.
The album grows on me every year. Like... And the more I've progressed in my life...
Stay is a great song.
Yeah.
That's where you got the Ariana
Yeah.
vocals in there, but she's not featured on it.
The first three, Congratulations, Dang, and Stay, is a fantastic intro. Hot take here. A little bit of hot take. I didn't fuck with Cinderella for a long time, and it's still, like, not really that great of a track to me. To me.
Here's the thing. It's 8 minutes long.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's still, like, there's parts of it that are fantastic, but, like, it's just a little bit of a chore sometimes.
It's a sex album, so...
Yeah.
You kind of got to throw it on. It's for lovers only, so...
Yeah.
You know.
This album has hit with me more in the past, like, year. I'll say that much. Now that I actually have... I'm tied down.
Yeah. But I'd say the song...
We is a great...
The song
Wee's
Planet Goddamn,
favorite.
I don't care for that much.
Yeah, Soulmate, I'm not that big of a fan of either.
Yeah. It's not... Yeah, I don't.
It's
I don't
still
fuck
not
with it
like a great album, but it's still.
But if you want to hear Mac and CeeLo Green on a song together,
We is a great song.
I mean, I didn't know I needed that in my life, but
and the top, it starts very strong. The first three and the last three songs are like the best songs on it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I would co-sign that.
Yeah, my favorite part: God is Fair, Sexy Nasty, Kendrick feature, or Kendrick.
My favorite part is the official Mac and Ariana relationship song.
Yeah, my favorite part. That's a great song. That's one of
if they had like a top 3 Mac only singing songs, it would be like Objects in the Mirror.
Yeah.
My favorite part, and then some other stuff from the newer.
Yeah, Circles or Swimming. Yeah,
be in there.
Come Back to Earth.
Yeah, God is Fair, Sexy Nasty. There's a long skit at the end where it's some old lady talking.
That's his grandma, I think.
Oh,
who's talking about his granddad that had passed away or something.
I appreciated the story the first times I was listening to it.
But it's not one that I listen to every single time, but that's okay.
Come on.
You know? That's what's going to happen in skits in certain albums. Like, some of them aren't going to age great, or some of them just aren't going to be... Some are going to be long that you're not going to want to listen to every single time.
If you put it on the end of the album, you're kind of, like, almost telling the person, like, look, if you don't like this, just switch to the next album.
Right.
You won't have to hear it, like...
Yeah. But it makes sense. The whole thing is about love and relationships, and they were talking about one at the end.
So, yeah, then Mac and Ariana were a big couple for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mac was quiet.
There was all this...
He didn't make any music
drama
in
about, like,
as far
Pete
as I know.
Davidson or whatever.
Well, that was... Well, it was only drama because it was only, like, a month after she broke up, or Mac and her broke up, that she got with Pete Davidson, and then only, like, a month after that they were engaged.
Yeah.
So people were just a little bit sus about that, but...
Fucking Pete Davidson, you snake. I hate you.
Oh, man.
Actually, no, he's not that bad. I watched King of Staten Island. It was...
Yeah, I like that movie.
It was okay.
So yeah, in 2017 we don't get much.
Did he just go on a tour, or did he just chill?
I mean, I know he went on the Divine Feminine tour in 2017, like pretty much the exact same type of tour that he did in 2016 for Good AM.
Right.
But yeah, in 2017, I don't think he made. I mean, I'm sure he made music, like he's always makes music, but I don't think he released much music that year. No album or anything. It wasn't until 2018 we got.
So then we got to Swimming, 2018.
Yeah.
This is when he steps even further into this direction of singer-songwriter.
And just to preface, this is my favorite Mac Miller album. Swimming.
Yeah. It's definitely a vibe. It would probably be number 3 behind Faces and Watching Movies for me.
Right. We'll do top 3 or top 5 at the end of this.
It's up there.
Yeah. It's just so all the way through, and
there's not as much rapping on it.
No, but he's mastered at this point almost just the whole like mixing of the
playing
of the
guitar
rap shit
on the songs.
Yeah, one of his most musical albums. So many again like poignant and like really kind of haunting lyrics. Now that you know that this was his last like official album.
Self Care is the best song on the album. In my opinion.
No, 2009. For me.
Yeah, that's a good one too. It's a little bit more sentimental and
a little softer, but because Self Care is a little more rap heavy, and then it has the beautiful like Oblivion section at the end where it switches beats and he's singing like that. I remember that when that video came out.
The video was great.
I went and I saw a video got released, and I'm like, oh shit! I went out to smoke a bowl alone in my backyard. Came back here, watched that movie watched the music video like 5 times.
It is a movie.
Yeah, well, it's based off fucking Kill Bill or whatever. But I watched that shit like 5 times in a row, just high as fuck, just being so amazed by this sound and what he was doing and the visuals and everything.
The visuals, it's great. It's him in the coffin smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then he breaks out of the...
And then fucking just explosions and the whole...
Very much...
Slow-mo shit is so beautiful.
Yeah, those stuff about rebirth and like...
Mm-hmm.
Sorting through your shit.
Yeah, and this is a kind of like an album similar to Good AM of where it's like he's still kind of acknowledging that he's trying to get better, but there's still some dark depressive shit on there that shows that he's, still has some addictions and stuff and still has some demons. And which is kind of like Good AM, but it's the opposite in terms of there's more singing than rap.
There's also just songs about fucking. What's the use?
I don't know if it's all about fucking, but it's a good fucking song, I suppose.
But the point is that it's not just all this like very serious heavy.
Yeah, Ladders is also like the beat is kind of like a little more like
Ladders
upbeat,
is like
upbeat and like bob your head
great
too.
Little brass thing.
Yeah. And Hurt Feelings is a good kind of like rap beat, but still like because that song doesn't have much like singing on it, but it is like
it's a
very
beat, but he raps like sad about.
Yeah. Produced by J. Cole, one of my favorite.
Wow, that's
J. Cole beats. Produced. Yeah. Perfecto and like Wings and like Dunno are really good. Like sing. And he was really in his singing bag, really in his like sentimental breakup relationship bag.
Small Worlds is
a fantastic song. That was also one of my favorites.
Instrumentally, that's one of my favorite ones with the piano shit.
Yeah.
That's one that I really like to make
and that
breakfast
whole like
with. Playing
that whole end like fucking verse where the kind of beat breaks down is like keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes, talking about like posters looking up at the posters on your wall. That whole thing was so relatable to me at the time.
And
And again, so much of Mac's music is why I'm such a big fan of him, because so much of it is so relatable, and so personal to him that you feel like you really know the guy. That's why Swimming is fair, because Swimming and Circles are probably his most personal albums, which are why Swimming is up there in my top 3. Circles might be my top 5, but for sure
Mac Miller always reminds, like, everyone has like some kid from their school or whatever who was kind of that Mac Miller like type dude, like who's like a complete stoner, but like he's like
a lovable guy.
Everyone like loves him because he's just like sort of happy-go-lucky kind of dude.
Easygoing. Yeah.
But yeah, then you just got to see his whole progression, and then tragically he died in 2018. September
6th, I want to say. I was supposed to go to a party that night. It was like the beginning of the year party for the semester. I remember I was taking a shower, and the last thing I did in a world that I knew that Mac Miller was alive, or thought that Mac Miller was alive, was shave my pubes. So I'm like, if I get lucky tonight, I didn't want my pubes to be shaved. I get out of the bathroom, and the first thing I saw, I think, was Lil Yachty posted a screenshot of him and Mac like on FaceTime together saying like R.I.P. brother, like I'll fucking miss you or whatever. I'm like, that kind of looks like Mac, but I don't think that really I don't think so. And then I went down, I saw A$AP Rocky had a similar thing. I'm like, no. And then I looked it up, and then I'm like, I took my headphones and I left the house for like 5 hours and just listened to his music. And then I didn't go to the party at all. And then I had a fire later that night, had a beer, smoked some weed in honor of Mac.
Did we hang out that day?
No.
I don't know. No.
I was too depressed.
Wow.
I didn't think we hung out until like a few days later.
Yeah, it was really like that, because that's the first time that an artist that I was really into died.
Really, and it hurts with Mac too so much because he was so personal and he was so relatable in his songs, and he made it that way. So like all of his or majority of his fans feel like they know him so well that so when someone like that passes, like everyone feels it like in a different way. Like that, that's probably the biggest like celebrity death that has actually like phased me and has affected my life in a way, you know?
Yeah, it sucks.
And it's just, again, like we talked about, like, just how you can look back and so much of his music is haunting now because some of his bars are just so, like, fuck, man, he did die with these drugs. Like, he did what he said he was going to do or what he thought was going to happen. And none of us wanted to see it happen, obviously.
Yeah.
We wanted him to get better.
And there's so many artists that have done so many more drugs and somehow survive, and you're like, what the fuck?
All these rock stars in the fucking 60s and
Keith
70s.
Richards is still kicking it. Like,
yeah, what the fuck, man? And when these fucking drugs were like so much more like new and like potentially unsafe.
It's this fentanyl shit. Like, it's fucked up. People are dying from it. Like, way more so than they did in like the 80s and shit. Like,
you see, like almost every month, like a semi-prominent rapper passes away, even if none of us know them. At least they were popping in their city or whatever, and you hear about it.
But to see like everyone's outpouring of like the posts afterwards, it did show it was a testament to his influence on
his
on
career
the game.
and how because he
like every rapper had worked with him. Everyone in the industry loved him. Like
there was not a single person.
Like, no one ever said anything bad about him. Like,
other than, like, Goldlink was the only guy. I don't know if you remember that.
There was a Goldlink thing, or he chirped him?
Well, Goldlink was, like, he had a thing on Instagram, like, a month or two after he died. Picture of Mac, and it started off with, like, I wasn't surprised to get this text to see that you were fucking overdosed or whatever. I'm like, not the best start, Goldlink, first of all.
Oh, so he was kind of airing the dirty laundry.
And he was saying, like, he was saying, like, even though you, ignored me that one time and we were supposed to do this, like it was just kind of
that's douchey.
It was just a bad look, man. And it was, to me, I'm always gonna look at Goldlink that way. I'm not even that big of a fan of Goldlink. I only really like that one song with Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, you say.
But
Denzel.
Yeah, the one with Denzel too. He's good. But yeah, he's kind of a goof for that.
But
he's like the only one out of like everyone. Like, it's insane.
I remember texting you the day I found out he died.
Me?
Yeah, saying, because I thought you were. I didn't know you headed out. I thought you were still going to the party.
Right.
So I texted you about it, and the other thing I remember is watching the Celebration thing.
Oh yeah, Celebration of Life concert.
I loved, like, somebody.
That was sick.
Somebody showed a picture of his mom at the end next to Vince Staples and John Mayer, and saying this is his influence. He was able to bring like this crazy like guitar like aficionado and like.
And the people that were at that show, like,
and this crazy good rapper and shit,
yeah,
like, together, and like he was able to like be friends with them both, and like his blending of worlds and things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really
the diversity of people that were at that show, like fucking Earl and like you get like people like Earl and like Thundercat and Vince, like with some of his closest, and Pac, some of his closest friends, but also like Travis Scott. Like someone that's like
because he's been around for so long, like,
but he has so much influence on the game because he's had a decade-long career almost, like.
And he came out of like Pittsburgh, like the most random place.
Yeah, only like
only
Wiz
known
Khalifa.
for like Wiz Khalifa. Yeah.
And like a lot of like, he was very supportive of smaller acts as well. He was trying to.
Yeah, he put on so many fucking people. Like he brought Chance on tour, Joey on tour, Earth Gang on tour. Like he brought like fucking SZA. Like so many artists like thank him for kind of starting their career in a way. Yeah. So the level of influence he has on the game is not going anywhere anytime soon. He's still going to influence fucking many people for a long time, I think, with a lot of his music.
And it'll be interesting to come back to this in like 10 years, like, you know, like what his impact was, like, like having more like hindsight.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see like how he's kind of remembered.
Yeah.
All right. R.I.P. Mac. That's pretty much it for our...
Fuck. I mean, we can talk about Circles. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. But that was like a great... To me, I kind of hope they don't put another album out after this. Because I know he has so much other music that they could put out. But I kind of hope this is like the last official one. He has mad leaked
tracks that you have.
I have over 100 leaked Mac Miller tracks. Don't hit me up. I'm not going to give them to you. They're just for me.
We'll turn them into NTFs.
Oh, dude, I could probably sell some of those actually, but that's some bullshit. I would donate all of the money to the Mac Miller Fund and shit.
Yeah, like, donate it all to.
That's real scum.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make any. I would not feel good about making money off that shit. But yeah, this was a perfect. If he was gonna go out with any album, I think this one is the perfect one because it really shows his progression. It doesn't sound anything like his old shit at all. Like anything, like if you heard. Watching movies and you heard fucking Circles back to back and you didn't know Mac, you'd be like, this is a different person, right? Like, it completely is like not even a rap album. Like, it's an alternative R&B singer-songwriter album.
Yeah. That's the other thing is I was hoping to hear another straight rap
That's
Mac
what
album.
his next one was going to be.
Because he put out 3 tracks that were Small
Which
Worlds.
Which is a theory. I had that fucking theory. That he put out Small Worlds, programs and buttons, and I'm like 3 things. Are we gonna get 3 albums?
These will each be on a different.
And I think I'm probably and they were in a circle, so I think that like I don't think I remember. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be named Circled, but I knew that had something to do with it. That
it's supposed to be swimming in circles. Or something, right?
People were theorizing what the third one was gonna be because it was gonna be all rap centric, and some people were like maybe swimming in circles infinity, like swimming circles infinity, swimming in circles to infinity, like he's always. Swimming in circles would be a good one, but none of us know, and I don't know how far he got on it, or I don't think we'll ever get that one. But honestly, I really like that this is the last one. If we were to get a final one, I think it's like the perfect posthumous album. It's the whole thing all the way through. It's so beautiful, all the melodies and the instruments. Like I think this is his most. He's such a great producer too, like Larry Fishman, which we. Kind of skipped over there,
there's a project Stolen Youth, a Vince Staples project.
Check it out if you haven't.
Fully produced by Mac,
with a few Mac features on it as well. Got like Schoolboy and Absol and shit like that. By Vince Staples.
Which is an early classic.
Yeah, that was like also like 2013 era, so he was really fucking going by that time, man. God damn,
he was working hard. All right,
but yeah, R.I.P. Mac is the thesis of it all. Yeah, so if your top 3 would be swimming, watching movies, and faces.
Yeah, that's probably where I would go.
Yeah,
I'm more of a fan of just the straight up hip hop, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the pre-trap but post 2009 wave. Like that period of 2009 to 2015 in rap is like I think that, and as 2013 as the middle of that is sort of a peak in the genre before things changed.
Yep.
And there's still rappers around that do like large scale concept albums that have tons of producers and features and like a big idea behind it.
For sure.
But there's not as much of that anymore. And I think that 2013 was a peak in that. And we got so many amazing albums that year. I'm gobsmacked by that. Yeah,
that was one of the best years for hip hop. I remember because I was first getting into it, but like so I wasn't like aware of all of them. But looking back, I'm like, yeah, that was huge. I'd say my top three, probably swimming is number one, and then either watching movies or good AM, depending on the day, for number two, and then three probably Circles, four Faces, five maybe Macadelic.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, that was some heavy shit. But I knew that once we got into this topic, like we were gonna keep going. Yeah. It'd be hard for us to keep it to like.
And we didn't even talk that much about like his early shit because like even though we didn't listen to much of it, like I still listen to it afterwards and have stuff to see. You know, some of my favorite kids songs or Blue Side Park songs or Best Day Ever songs, but obviously it doesn't stick with us as well as much as other stuff. Okay, new music. A decent amount has actually. We've only been like a 2-week break, and a decent amount has dropped actually. We're starting. This year's starting finally with music.
We're finally getting moving here.
Yeah. And should we start with the best song out of all of these, which is Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars?
Yeah.
Because I mean, what the fuck,
dude?
What the fuck, man? That's one of the most beautiful.
I need to get up and walk.
Do a lap, bro. Do a fucking lap, dog. That fucking song. Oh my god. Josh, have you heard it yet? We should have played it before the fucking thing. God damn.
You're so sweet.
Yeah,
You're so
I knew it was gonna be good, but like, fuck, I was gobsmacked this time.
This is gonna be one of those.
That's gonna be the episode title.
Yeah. It's gonna be one of those. I'm gonna watch this back and go, oh, I was so naive. Like,
I want to play it for you, like as soon as we finish. Like it's because I just want to hear it again because it's so great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, what the fuck?
Anderson and Bruno are taking us back to 1973.
I still got beef with Bruno Mars because he stole my Grammy. But
stole your Grammy for what?
I don't know. It's
Radiohead? It's Radiohead?
No, it's just a goof. It's like, remember that time when Bruno won against Bino and Lorde and Jay-Z and Kendrick and the Grammys?
No, what was that? Oh.
What year was that?
Yeah, I think
2015.
It was when he put out his 24 Karat Gold music
it's like
album or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
What Bino album did he beat out?
Awaken My Love.
Oh, so that was like 2016?
But dude, that 24 Karat Magic or whatever. Like that song was so fucking huge. Like
he's
like Bruno was huge like 3 years ago.
Yeah, because we don't think of him as big because he hasn't released much, at least, or he hasn't been in the public eye as much. But he still had the song on YouTube still has like 22 million views right now. It's been out for like a week. Like it still has like crazy numbers.
Bruno is an interesting one because he's sort of a pop star. He's sort of a relic from the earlier age of pop stars.
Like, I never fucked with Bruno Mars because I'm like, oh, it's just some fucking pop star. But like
back in like 2008 and shit, like he had the song about like I'll catch a grenade for you. Like that was so lame. Like
remember that one with Lil Wayne too, like the mirrors or whatever that shit was called.
Lazy Day or whatever.
Yeah, today I don't feel like... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That song made me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I hated Bruno Mars.
Yeah, no, for a while I did too. And then...
but then he kind of reinvented himself as, like, a guy who just does, like, music from other eras. Like, oh, I'm going to bring back the 80s style. I'm going to bring back the 90s style. But, like, he kind of... It's sort of a 2021 version of old school type music.
Yeah, because it still feels very old school, but also, like, the mixing is so good and, like, it all sounds so... professionally done that I guess like it still sounds like current.
And they're saying like the lyrics are like a little bit more the way modern people talk. It's not like a 70s. You know.
Shut your trap. The whole ad lib.
Saying "come through" was not a thing people said until like
whatever
the 2010s or some shit. But some people I've heard some opinions of like you can't just bite all the classic R&B like that, and like
they're not really because they're not like biting off like a specific song, like it's a style, like because what would you say Weekend's
it's just an old head
after hours thing is he not biting on fucking 80s
it's just an old head opinion of like you guys can't redo this for the modern age.
No,
these kids don't even know what the real shit who actually invented.
I will not accept any trash talking on this song, and I
don't see any reason to be negative about it.
No, it's just it's so good. It feels so good. It sounds so good. I touch myself when I listen to it, and
okay.
No, it's song of the year. All right, for me already.
Yeah, it's up there.
But that's not the only thing that came out. A bunch of other stuff. Let's see what we got.
A bunch of other stuff that pales in comparison.
Oh yeah, JID. That's the one we listened to earlier. Skeegee.
Yes, man, I'm excited for new JID.
Was not aware of that whole like Tuskegee shit. Were you? The whole experiments shit. Because I know you're a history buff. I mean, major.
Basically, the American government was doing like Nazi style.
Yeah.
Like science experiments on black people.
Putting syphilis in them, giving them syphilis.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And like knowing that, like, should like completely change your real worldview. Like, how if that's possible, then what isn't? You know.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's one of the most one of the more politically charged rap songs recently, or that has like a proper meaning to it and has like a story and kind of feels like it's kind of reminds me of a J. Cole song in a way, like something J. Cole would rap about. Of some past, some past shit, and like talking about just like.
But he kind of uses it as
stuff,
he tells the story of it, and then kind of uses it as like a.
Also, a way to frame
making
him
a point
and,
about
how shit hasn't
America
changed
in general.
And, it's still like a current song, even though.
And it's still bars on it. It's not like a, history lesson type of song either.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think it's fire, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be on the album. I think he said it's not like the new single for the album, but it's. I mean, we've gotten 4 new JID songs so far this year, technically. So he's coming out. He's coming soon, and I'm fucking.
He's gonna dethrone Drake.
Uber hyped. Yeah, you should. That's your hot take there. You own that one.
Yeah, Drake's over party.
Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, we can get to Drake. Scary Hours.
Spooky Hours.
I saw this shit on Reddit. Hold on. Big Honey on Reddit says, Scary Hours is definitely a reference to Millie Bobby Brown's bedtime. And I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Damn. That's
coming at his fucking throat.
Great job, Reddit.
Yeah, but
Another win against Drake. The internet.
Yes. Finally.
We'll finally get him.
Us incels
billions
will fucking...
of dollars.
Yeah. What'd you think of... Did you hear all 3 of them?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
They're 3 good songs. I mean... They didn't exactly blow my mind.
No,
and these aren't going to be on Certified Lover Boy.
No,
these
I think one of them will be, because that's what he did with Scary Hours 1 was like had God's Plan on it, and it had Diplomatic Immunity and then one other one. So I think he was like this is like a little tester feeler to figure out what the hit off this one is. Probably it's going to be What's Next because there's a music video for it. So I think that one's going to be on it. But
yeah, I mean when I heard the songs were coming out, I watched the What's Next video. And I was like, okay, this is very much like a I'm Back kind of song. Like, it's really not that much of a song.
No.
It's more just a statement of like...
Yeah. Very...
Check me out. I'm here at Ripley's, believe it or not.
It's all Toronto fucking tourists fucking
check me out. I'm on the TTC subway. Yeah.
The entire time I'm thinking, I've been there.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. It's cool that he reps the city so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it.
But the song itself, like, it's only like only 4 chords on the beat, or like only 4, like.
Yeah, it's like
very simple beat. Sounds kind of like a Playboy Cardi fucking beat. Kind of stole our Old Lady Ice beat. Maybe that's a.
you're searching.
I'm grasping for straws, bro. Fuck.
Yeah. We don't have any beef.
God damn it! I want beef with any rapper that fucking. We should beef with 6ix9ine or something. He'll beef with us. He'll beef with anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the song is like just okay. I think it's pretty good. I think it's probably, I don't know. It's my favorite of the 3, but also still not. It's pretty good, but it's not like that great of a song.
My favorite was the him and Rick Ross one, which probably won't be a.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite one.
Probably won't make it on the.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the Little Baby one will either. I
think part of it, like the one types of Drake song that I know how to like is the one where it's him and Rick Ross, and it's basically like a diary entry of like, yo, it's 3 a.m. in Toronto.
Yeah,
I'm out here looking at a balcony, and I'm on the balcony looking at the skyline and just thinking
Drake
about my life.
definitely has a formula down. Like, he knows, he has the fucking hype ones, like What's Next, the really statement ones, and then he has the fucking, the ones like that where it's more of a statement kind of outro of the album, like kind of just catching up of where he's been in his life, you know. But it was too long. Why have Rick Ross on it if it's going to be 4 minutes of Drake and like a minute of fucking Rick Ross? Like, I didn't think he was needed at all. The best beat on there, though. It's a great beat.
I liked the singing sample on it.
And there was some good bars, like some good, you know, him talking about like going to after school shit with his son, and all the wives of all the other fucking husbands there are like contemplating like, oh, what if I just got with Drake right now? Like, can't remember what the bar is exactly, but him like driving his son to school is kind of funny to hear Drake rap about.
Yeah. I didn't retain as much of the lyrics. I can't really think of specific shit that he says. He does have kind of a shot at, or he's like, I think it's on the song with Lil Baby.
Yeah. Wants and Needs.
Wants and Needs. That one, I think he has a bar where he's like, you know, I tried to confess my sins to Jesus, but he didn't believe me, or
or just like
that.
I need some God. I need to link with Jesus, even if I said all my sins, he wouldn't believe us, some shit like that. Yeah,
which is like
a little bit of a shot, I think.
He always just makes sure to do little mentions in these types of songs.
See what happens.
The one with Lil Baby.
I really like.
He flows good on that one.
Yeah, sounds good. I like Lil Baby's verse a lot, actually. Like, he is like rapping on that. I think it's one of my favorite.
Lil Baby's putting effort in.
Yeah,
like that's you actually.
Which I don't.
You can hear the
because
effort.
I don't fuck with Lil Baby usually. Like, the only other like really good feature was off that Water song by Schoolboy Q off Crash Talk.
I got that water.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
Raindrop. Yeah, he has a great verse on that. I think Drake's intro to Wants and Needs is really weird, where it's like kind of the beat breaks for like 8 bars, but he has a certain flow on the break, and usually when that happens, typically they would continue that same flow to at least till when the beat drops. You know what I'm saying? But he switches the flow.
Jumps right into it.
Yeah, I'm like, so why have that little? It was just kind of odd to me of placing that. But from there it was okay. The chorus was kind of meh. He had some good bars. He was flowing.
Yeah.
Was okay, but again, none of these three really stood out. Like, if he was looking for like a God's Plan level of track from this, I don't think he's gonna get it. Like, because what are the main singles for this right now? It's
God's Plan was kind of a random song to get so big anyway. Like,
I still don't fuck with that. That might be a hot take, but I don't fuck with God's Plan. Mainly because I don't fuck with God.
I believe in Satan.
Yeah. No, but
she says, "Why you love me? Only partly. I'm a bad and a mama." Yeah, fuck that lyric, man.
Get out of here.
You're basic if you
and the
if
lyric
you like
that. It is fucking on the new song. And Valentine's Day I had sex. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hey. On Valentine's Day I had sex.
Okay.
Oh, on Easter I celebrated Jesus coming back to life. Okay. What?
Yeah, it's kind of
going steady with my girl.
Kind
for
of a
3
corny
months.
bar, but it's Drake, so it's going to be used on Instagram captions like for years to come. So, what's the, you know?
I don't see the hype really, but
I mean,
we'll see what the CLB.
You couldn't wait to review the new Drizzy. You said it in a unreleased song that will be released by us soon.
We keep talking about that song. I shouldn't say soon. It'll probably never come out.
Oh, come out. That one will come out.
Yeah, CLB. I don't know how excited I am for it, but everyone's going to be talking about it.
We've got, what, Laugh Now, Cry Later, and What's Next are the singles off of it, which aren't as big as God's Plan or Nice for What.
You can't just drop it without. I mean,
Laugh Now, Cry Later was pretty huge. Yeah. And I like that song.
They still play that song in the radio, so.
And it's going to be huge. Both songs are going to be huge, but like levels of God's Plan and shit like that. Like, that has like a fucking billion views on YouTube. Like, that's crazy.
There's so many forgotten Drake albums, like, that just get kind of swept under the rug.
Like what?
Scorpion or like...
Yeah, Scorpion, More Life.
More Life was a playlist or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Didn't even want to call it an album.
Everything post, if you're reading this, has been a little iffy to me. And even then, I don't really like Drizzy that much. Like, if you're reading this, it's probably my favorite album, but, like, you know... There's still some great songs off of Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. But
that's another one where I go back to my theory about 2013.
Yeah, that was good.
Drake was at his artistic peak, I think, as far as putting together albums that have fully fleshed out ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now he just seems like he worked out a formula for getting the most fucking streams and money that he's just going to keep doing that and nothing's really going to change.
Yeah, I think it's formulaic at that point. At this point.
I think so.
I think there was once something very unique and special about Drake, but now it's
we just got it for...
He's just kind of... He's like... You know, Lucky Charms or some shit. Like, he's on the shelf. Like, he's the thing that corporate America is going to send, or corporate Canada is going to sell you. And you're probably going to buy it because it's Drake and everyone else is. Right. We just kind of have to live with.
It's just going to be in this world. Yeah. Drake's just the biggest artist ever. Or right now. So
let's not give him any more press.
Yeah, no, fuck that. You like the YG Big Sean song? I didn't fuck with that like at all. Because I'm like, this sounds like some soundtrack shit. And then later I realized it was from the Coming to America soundtrack. I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was a good song for a movie trailer.
Yeah, but I'm never going to listen.
That's as far as I'm going to go.
I'm never going to listen to it again.
I feel like YG doesn't get enough love on this podcast.
Well, I don't really like him that much.
I don't like him that much, but...
So why would he be getting more love if we're not going to give him love?
Because I listen to the song Big Bank so much.
Yeah.
And I do like some of his singles over the years. Just seeing his music videos.
Yeah, some of his features are pretty good too. But like,
etc.
Yeah, and I've heard Still Brazy, or like one of his first ones, is like still like a crazy album, but just never got into it.
Big Sean is on the song doing his you can't get anywhere without a plan. Yeah. You got to think in your mind about.
He's gonna write a self-help book so fucking soon, dog.
But it's
my God.
I mean, it's okay to rap about that. Like, we've talked at length about this discussion.
Yeah, go back to the fucking Big Sean episode.
But I am kind of getting tired of these self-help Big Sean verses. Like, talk about something else.
Yeah,
like,
and I also saw on Twitter he was doing like a bunch of interviews as well, talking about like kind of the self-help shit. I'm like, bro, you better not go on a fucking self-help fucking run. I swear he's gonna be the next fucking.
I'm sick of him. He's gonna turn into
Chance
the Rapper,
View, bro. He's gonna be on The View. Mark my words.
People are going to look at him the same way they look at Chance when he's talking about his God stuff.
Yeah.
Next one, new Chance song.
Yeah. Chance, what's it called? The Heart and the Tongue or something like that?
Yeah, this is, I feel like we might be looking at a bit of a Chance renaissance.
Yeah,
like, the song is good lyrically, like...
Yeah.
He does some
he has bars,
pretty unique shit and has
good
some
flow,
bars.
Beat is solid. Like, overall, it's solid. Pretty good song.
But he's kind of going in the direction of like, I only need my real fans to like this stuff. Like, he has bars where he says something about like some word like Diogenes or something. Yeah. And then I was like, okay,
Diegesis.
The next rhyme is gonna be these people are trying to sell me a diet Jesus.
Yeah.
And then he says something about it's so old, like Thylus of Miletus or something, like some really like.
But then he has the other bar of like trying to sell us diabetes or some shit like that, which I think was pretty clever. But there's still bars.
I'm saying like lyrically, like he's going out there on that limb to like say some shit no one's ever said before.
Yeah.
And it's not coming off like this is my pop single
or preachy.
I'm not gone. Yeah. I can still do a.
It's not a big budget video. It's not like it's pretty simple. Like it kind of seems like he doesn't really care as much, which is kind of a good thing in a way. He's just gonna go back to basics, which I think is what he should do.
Yeah, I don't hate the song, but it's not.
I like it.
It's not like I want to listen to it every day, kind of like.
But it's not on streaming or whatever. But I'll listen to it again. I'll fuck with it.
Yeah, I'm glad he's not coming out with a song like, you guys all hated my last album, but now I'm here anyway.
Man, what if Chance the Rapper had made a Kamikaze in 2019 or whatever?
And fuck the critics and fuck the...
He just got so... Yeah. Oh, man. Him and Logic had a whole collab tape of like, fuck you guys, like...
All my haters are non-believers.
Yeah.
They're not with Jeezers.
Okay, well...
You're fucking geezers.
You leak that one Chance verse at one point. Try to leak another one for us.
Yeah, he'll bring out some like Christian word that no one says, like,
Yeah.
My rhymes are Abrahamic. I'm off a hammock. I'm in a fucking.
Okay.
I'm playing
tell to
him. Samus.
Nice. Okay.
My main is Samus.
Whatever. The point is, I'm a better rapper than Chance.
Okay.
And I could probably beat him in a fist fight.
Speaking of someone we could beat up in a fist fight, Young Gravy, Lil Wayne track.
Oops.
Don't really care.
So we only have to
it.
talk about it because there's a Lil Wayne feature. We wouldn't be reviewing Young Gravy otherwise, I don't think, right?
No. Well, we talked about him last week for a little bit because we were talking about meme rap.
But I was just hating on him. It was no other opinion.
Yeah.
The song's okay. I mean, yeah, you might as well have a song.
Bouncy beat, but I just
song
can't...
about having sex with MILFs and driving like shitty cars.
Yeah, it's funny enough, but like it's I don't know. I just can't really get into Young Gravy, even though
it's too frat boy
shit
for me.
Yeah, I respect him as a meme rapper and him like blowing up off that shit. But yeah, it is a little too like frat boy for me.
I don't know.
If it was like first year for me, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, first year
if
school.
If I was 20 years old, I would be like, this is the shit.
I'm an old man. I'm 22.
Unfortunately, I'm 37.
Alex reveals his age. Finally, you listen to the new Shelly song?
Yeah.
So not Dram anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of going back to 1973, Dram is now just
R&B.
Straight up like writing boyfriend music, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get it.
It's all about like how he's a sensitive lover.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you came back from a 4-year hiatus to say this.
But I kind of fucks with it.
I kind of fucks with it, but I also hope that it won't all be like. I'm sure an album's coming. I kind of, because a lot of his shit back in like 2016, I kind of reminded me of like the more type of Lil Yachty, like more fun kind of trap, like kind of bubblegummy.
You were saying you want broccoli too, but you're not probably gonna get it. You're probably
not broccoli necessarily, but there's their song Cash Machine that's really good. It's like really just happy-go-lucky vibe. Gilligan, yeah, like shit like that, like more rap focused. I really liked. I'm curious to see what if he does like a whole R&B album, and I'll probably listen to it, but I don't know if I'll fuck with it that much. If it's just kind of like a Ty Dolla $ign light, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This one, it's not as polished as the Bruno and Anderson thing.
No. And this, I'm sure his shit got completely swept under the rug after that shit came out too. It was like, that's just like the one. Sorry,
you're right.
Like,
I feel for Drum though. I feel like he's he
never got
he's very talented. He's
never
a great
got
singer.
His credit or his due. You know,
he's a good voice.
Yeah, no, it's really unique too. Like, yeah. And him taking a break for so long though kind of hindered his ability to stay in the spotlight.
I think there's a perception that he's kind of a fluke. That
maybe
the broccoli song got so big and
maybe
otherwise he probably would have been more under the radar.
I mean, we'll see. It might wow us. Who knows?
I'm not trying to hate on him too hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess probably the last thing we'll talk about then. Denzel Curry, Kenny Beats, Unlocked 1.5. I'm the only one that listened to it. Yes. Okay.
I heard the one where Joey Badass comes in on one of his songs.
Yeah. So at first I thought it was just going to be a deluxe album like everyone else was doing, but it's not. It's a remix album where it's like, you know, all Denzel's vocals from the first one are on it, but just to different beats and some new features and stuff like that. So going into it, I was already like, okay, so it's not going to be like that. So I'm already kind of have my expectations lowered. But it's solid. Some cool ideas. The Benny the Butcher beat, and Benny the Butcher was on Diet, that one where he's like DMX and shit. And they didn't even remix the beat; they just kept it. I'm like, okay, that's the move, because that beat is so crazy. Like,
damn, I should listen to that one.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah, the one with Joey Badass, that's a tough one because it's produced by Alchemist, but I really can't say that I like the beat that much.
Yeah, me too.
It's really kind of weird. It doesn't, like, I don't know. I just don't. I think I prefer the original for sure. But I prefer the original of most of the songs to the first one. Yeah, a good Kenny Mason feature on one of them. He's like a new guy I've been hearing about.
There's more than one Kenny now?
Yeah, Kenny Mason. He... who does he remind me of? Can't remember. He had a few quotables on his. The Smino was a good feature as well. That was a good one. Kind of sounds like Kendrick in that one, which I liked. Yeah, not too much else to say. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't come close to the first one. I mean, that makes sense. It's a remix album, so I don't think it's like supposed to. And the one song's "Take It Back" with a Charlie Heat remix is actually fire.
Charlie Heat.
A few of them, track 7 is just kind of a weird one. I don't really like that one that much, and also the 8th one that I can't remember what the beat or what the song was, but I didn't like it at all, and I deleted it immediately. But
damn, so kind of disappointed.
A little bit. I mean, because I was kind of expecting a deluxe, and then when I realized I wasn't getting it, I'm like, I'm not that excited about this now. But it's still cool. I appreciate it and I respect it, and There's a few songs that I do really fuck with it on it, but nothing too special for me. I do hope Denzel comes with something this year that's
something new.
Yeah, some new shit.
It'd be funny he just keeps remixing this album over
yeah, like
again.
5 times.
Christmas album version
Christmas
of it.
Unlocked. Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for the pod today.
Shouts out to Mac.
Yeah.
And
in the comments, sound off with your opinions on Mac's best works.
Yep, we want to see it. We really don't, but, you know, it'll get us more engagement.
It'd be cool to have maybe a comment.
Yeah. And hopefully this gets put up on Reddit, because the last one I couldn't do because they got like new rules and shit where it's like a certain percentage of shit you have to post there can't be like your own self-promotion shit. I'm like, fuck you, that's lame as hell. There's too many rules on Reddit, bro. Fuck that shit.
The internet sucks these days.
But still, listen to the podcast. We'll be back again probably late April. Yeah, I don't know what we'll do.
And
Hopefully
also,
it'll be
happy
some good
birthday
albums.
to me.
Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm turning 67.
I thought it was 37.
It's all the same.